The Activity of the Violet Fire by the Ascended Master Saint Germain. Think of those of us who gained their freedom and victory alone, century after century, finding secret caves, places where we might hide, endeavouring with a few brave souls like ourselves to contact the ascended host of light. We desired to receive their instruction and then to experiment with magnetization, invocation, and the direction of the light rays. There was nobody to tell us whether we were on the right path. There was nothing but our heart flame to direct us. Yet, if we had allowed negative qualities to make us fearful, we would still remain within the orthodox masses. I tell you frankly, if you are going to succeed, you must be positive, determined, and confident within yourself. In the privacy of your own room, you must take yourselves in hand and decide first and foremost whether you wish to work with the Ascended Host or not. If you feel that you do not, then you must wait for another opportunity at a later day. You must measure everything that we have given according to the code of truth, according to the code of balance, of purity, of wisdom, and of love. Then, when you have made up your mind, stay constant to that decision and move forward into the light of freedom. The greatest opportunity in the world is to use this flame of freedom and to stand unmoved, centered, and poised within your own God flame. The divine alchemy of the violet fire is a real science, just as much as any science of electronics in the outer world today. It is not something which works in a haphazard manner. You are in an age of experimentation, and now stand much as I did in those embodiments previous to my ascension, when I too was experimenting with various combinations of thought, feeling, and spoken word in decrees. You are in a period of transition in your personal lives, world transition, and in a very few short years you will be in a period of planetary transition as well. These periods of world change cause feelings of unrest in the emotional and mental bodies of the masses of the people, and stir up a great sense of fear in their flesh bodies as well. In the coming world changes, we come to strange days when great numbers of people may be in distress, and they will need your cause to set into action the transmuting powers of the violet fire. Do not limit the powers of your iron presence, beloved ones. Become acquainted with that glorious presence, because of its omnipotent power and its willingness to act to and through you at all times. Personally, you could not possibly attempt to rehabilitate the entire human race, who are an embodiment, besides the billions awaiting physical embodiment. But your I Am presence can. Your presence and mine are not limited in any way. Your presence is all-knowing and is capable of directing instantly from itself a billion rays of transcendent, blazing light into whatever condition, place, or person requires assistance. We are at the beginning of a new age, in which, through the courtesy and kindness of life, I am the Chohan, and I will assist you in the religious service which will be manifested in the worship of the next 2,000-year period. This is the activity of the violet ray, the activity of ordered service and ritual, the activity where mankind, angels, and elementals will again be drawn together in conscious cooperation, and will, hand in hand, walk together along the path of evolution, where they will serve together and build together the kingdom of heaven on earth. They will worship together in ceremonials such as you cannot yet conceive. One day before my ascension, while in deep contemplation of the presence and its violet fire of mercy, forgiveness, and transmutation, my inner sight was opened, and I had a glimpse of a farmer walking through a field sowing seed. This man was heavy of heart, and his head was bowed. Suddenly I saw a ray of light from my presence go forth, within which was the violet fire. It blazed around that individual, instantly transmuting the cause of his distress, for which I had been responsible at one time or another. Thus was paid the particular debt which I owed that life stream. Then that life stream raised his head, free of that burden, and actually ran laughing towards the farmhouse. That person never knew from whence his release came. I did not even know the name of that man, but I knew that his burden was lightened, and that at least some of my karmic debt had been paid. It will be interesting if you care to develop it. I would like to thank you for giving yourself so freely and so completely in the cause of freedom, for investing your energies in that freedom through the centuries, not only in this embodiment, but you have rallied around that banner of freedom in almost every era and every age that you have lived. Now, as we enter the door of a new day, I shall remember those of you who have stood by me, and you shall be part of that spiritual court that lives forever.